Forever. Dog.
This may come as a surprise, but my family is ready to get out of the house. So I did a search on the Verbo app. They've got vacation homes anywhere your family wants to go. We found the perfect beach house that was just a drive away. It has an outdoor kitchen, a pool, and a game room for the kids, so we can really unwind and relax. Check out the Verbo app for whatever kind of vacation your family needs. That's Verbo, VRBO.com. Your together awaits.
Welcome back, everybody. I think it's Thursday, Bevy. We did it.
We did it. We made it through.
I'm here with my guest this week. Just a true inspiration. I've just always have warmth surrounding her. She's wonderful. Has a brand new book out. It's a must-read. Bevelations, Lessons from a Mother, Auntie, Bestie. It came out this week. Where should people go? Any Barnes & Noble, Amazon, independent shops online?
And all your independent shops online. Go to bookshop.com. Go to bevysmith.com for more information on my personal appearances as well.
Oh, bevysmith.com is a must-visit URL.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, follow Bevy on Twitter and on Instagram, at Bevy Smith. Your Instagram is just, it's, dare I say, and this word is so heavy because it's just like kind of an annoying word, but I really mean it, aspirational. You have an aspirational Instagram? I think so. No, pandemic has changed life for everybody, but pre-pandemic, Bevy, and of course I'm here with Bevy Smith, pre-pandemic, there was not a night where Bevy Smith was not doing some shit that I was like, Bevy is the chicest, most connected, you know everybody. What a fun life you must live.
Yes, very, very fun. But the most fun is what you said as far as like, not the connected part of it, but connected as far as a real authentic connection with people.
Yeah.
So I have all of these different groups of folks that I have relationships with. And that's what makes my life really fun and really spicy. So I'm not just in a fashion set or just in a media set or just in the black set or just in the white gay set, or I'm all of it. It's like a goulash up in here. Yeah. So at any given moment I could be doing in one night I could literally be going to a GLAAD Awards event and then going to hang out with Puffy at a concert and then going for late night dinner with like my girlfriends and acting like it's Sex in the City, the sepia version. You know what I mean? So
the part 4, which is eventually HBO Max will pick up the rights to that.
They will do that. Yes, exactly. But yeah, it's so great. But that's also the way you're supposed to be living in New York City.
Wow.
You know, New York is made for that kind of a lifestyle. And, it's so funny because, of course, we live here. It's incredibly expensive. And in my book, I actually have to tell people that me having a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment with outdoor space is like akin to having a McMansion in the Midwest.
I'm shaking my head.
Mama, I made it.
It's legitimately unheard of. I think we live close to each other. We're both uptown girls, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm an uptowner, B. I am, and not to brag, I am in a 1-bedroom. However, I do also have outdoor space. My staircase, you can see leading up to it.
Oh, nice.
Which is really nice. And I feel the same way, even though I would kill for a second bedroom. Second bathroom, I do like having an optional duty bathroom. Like when
so
company.
Good. I never knew how much I thought I was going to use that second bathroom just for the guests. I love choosing which one I'm going to use. Oh. And sometimes even when I get up at night, I don't use the ensuite bathroom. I go to the other bathroom.
You know what? Get your money's worth.
Just to spice it up.
If you had different scents, different towels, I could see you being in a different like visual mood.
Right,
want
exactly.
just like yeah, I get that actually completely. I had when I first moved back to New York and I was on The View and I thought that I was going to be rich forever. We can both pause to laugh at that. I did rent a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom because I was like, my joke is that I moved back in the Coming to America limos. I was like so excited. I was like, I did it, you know? And then like, you know what happened. But in the meantime, I signed a 2-year lease because I'm also, say it with me, a dumb Jew. And so I was like, yeah, I'll sign a 2-year lease, which was a huge mistake. But I ended up just using that second bathroom to blow dry my hair. And I'm like, because I so much hair and so much of it falls out. And I was just like, this is when I say burning my money. And that second bedroom was my closet. I bought garment racks. Yeah. And that's where I kept everything. And it just encouraged me to hoard is what that apartment did for me.
It did kind of. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm trying hard not to. I just did a big purge. And I gave a bunch of stuff to Housing Works, which I do a lot of work with Housing Works.
Love Housing Works.
You know, HIV/AIDS is one of my causes that I really work hard on. And I've been working with Housing Works for about 15 years.
Wow.
And so I gave them a bunch of stuff. So if you're in New York City and you're looking for some designer stuff and some really good books, go to Housing Works on Columbus Avenue. They got all my stuff.
83rd Street, right? It's somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just inspired me because when I got back from my, if you want to call it a trip, which it was, I walked in, and I'm not a minimalist. Like I know I'm not a hoarder because I love throwing stuff out. Like that makes me feel good. But I also love buying stuff. So it's a disease and I'm mentally ill. But I came back and I was like, I don't need any of this. Like I just walked into my apartment and was like, get rid of it. So I already have all my IKEA bags full of stuff. And I didn't even consider Housing Works. I was going to go to another place like Dress for Success, but you just.
Oh yeah, but Dress for Success
they're
is
good,
really
too. Yeah. You just
maybe spread the love.
Yeah, I love donating stuff. Makes you feel good.
Yeah, it does.
Going back to our New York life, forget charity. No, I'm kidding. We love charity.
Right.
You know what? Forget charity, Bevy. Let's talk about us.
Yeah, why not?
What, like, can you, and I'm sure your book is like, I know it's chock full of these like celebrity stories and these sort of, regaling the reader with your fabulous life. Was there a night in your life where even for you, you just kind of looked around and you were like, I don't know what I did to be so lucky to be here. You know what I mean? But it really hit you.
I gotta tell you, Michelle, that was so long ago, girl. I can't remember. I mean,
I thought you were going to say today during this podcast. I was like, thank you.
Right, exactly. It is here. It's getting here.
You can't remember?
Real talk, when I was like, I'm a New York City, I grew up in Manhattan. And I grew up in the heady days of like hip hop golden age. And I also grew up, I've been working in fashion since I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And so many of those, oh my God moments happened to me so long ago. Maybe like in my 20s or in my 30s. I mean, I think probably I write about it in the book when I went to Paris for the first time, and it was for the collections. And I went to, it was a Vivienne Westwood show, I believe, or maybe it was a Kenzo show, but it was one of the good shows. And I had like a seat in maybe like the third row. And Andre Leon Talley spotted me. And we didn't know each other at all. But he saw another black face at this very elite fashion show. Wow. And he called me over and he asked me who I was and what I was doing there. And I told him. And then he said, sit right behind me. So then I moved to the second row, which is very good. The second row of a fashion show. People always talk about front row. And obviously that's what you aspire to. And I did get there. But that second row moment was piece de resistance, darling. I was like, yes, I've made it. I've arrived.
By the way, I read ALT's book, The Chiffon Trenches, which I loved. And I would say when you're done reading Bevelations for people to buy that book. But he's such a huge presence in the world of fashion. And I've heard stories, both good and bad, about him. But I only choose to see the good ones because what he went through to have the career that he had and to put up with the women and men that he put up with, how they treated him, including Carl and Anna and everybody. Yeah. You can't say a bad word about him to me. I won't hear it. So I love that he did that to you. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was really lovely. And now, of course, we're friends. So it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, well, tell him I plugged his book.
Yeah, I will.
Please.
I'll tell him.
I really loved it. I was like, oh, it's great. Hey, Midnight Snackers, are you looking for a great new podcast to check out? Well, I have one, Talking It Out. It's a new podcast from Wondery that's hosted by Bachelor alums Mike Johnson and Bryan Abasolo. Mike and Bryan will talk about love and relationships, and as former Bachelor contestants, they're kind of experts. But they'll also dive into the ins and outs of dating, marriage, family, career, and self-care. They'll have real conversations with actual experts, celebrities, and of course, your favorite Bachelor stars. And nothing is off limits because, as you hear everywhere, if you're comfortable, you're not growing. So Bryan and Mike are up to the task of making us talk it out. Talking It Out is available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can start your free trial of Wondery Plus in the Wondery app to listen ad-free. You grew up in New York City. I always wonder, and where did you grow up in Manhattan?
In Harlem.
In Harlem, of course. It's basically our neighborhood. So do you see now, because New York now, it's really hard for me to even approach this topic just because, you know, I've been here 20 years, which I can't compare, obviously.
Yeah.
But
no, but 20 years, you're a New Yorker.
Yeah, I feel
You're
it in my bones 100%.
Yeah, you're a New
and
Yorker.
I see like in the past year or so, it changes every year for good or bad, right? You know, you have the years where all the banks are opening, all the Dwayne Reeds, and obviously now because of the pandemic, so much is closing. What's your current energy on New York City? Because I'll be honest, I'm a little disillusioned with it at the moment. I'm a bit, I don't want to say over it because I never want to leave, but I'm just a little burnt out, I think, is how I feel at the moment.
Well, that's how I felt in April, right after my dad passed away. And then I said to my mom, we're moving to Atlanta because I can still do all of this work, media work in Atlanta, and we would have space. Because being cooped up in your house at the beginning of the pandemic was like
hell,
a nightmare. You wanted like grass, you wanted fresh air, you wanted all of those things. And I was like, Mom, we're moving. And my mom was like, I don't know about that. I said, sweetie, you have no options. I'm the only one that wants to take you. So you're coming with me. And so I convinced her. And then, of course, once I got over the shock of everything that had happened, then I mellowed out. And my mom was still telling people we were moving to Atlanta. And I had to tell her, we're not moving, girl. We're not moving to Atlanta. We're going to be right here. And so that brings me to the point of, I love New York. I was really very disillusioned by it, like you said. Yeah. And then I think I was offended because people were like saying, oh, it's over for New York and we're leaving and droves of people moving out. And then I was like, but now I don't want you here. If you don't want to be here in New York, I don't want you here. We don't need you. And so then I got very fierce and territorial about my patch of land, my Manhattan and such. So I'm back on that train. I love it again. Last a couple of nights ago, I went to Pastis for dinner.
Rihanna was just there. Did you see her? Were you there the night Rihanna?
I did not see Rihanna there.
Go on.
I didn't see her there, but it's very hard to get a reservation. I will say that.
Can I say something unflattering towards Pastis? Or do you,
what they do to you?
Well, no, nothing personally other than bad food. Because I love a Balthazar moment, even though I know it's like a tourist trap, blah, blah, blah. Like I'll sit at the bar, I'll have 10 martinis, people watch. You won't find a happier girl in the city. I love it.
Right.
Old Pastis, obviously loved. Yeah. Not a huge fan of the new one. I've not had a single good meal there, weirdly.
Really?
I know. And I don't know what.
I had the bouillabaisse. It was so good.
Oh, I'm not a bouillabaisse girl, so that might be the problem.
What happened to you? Why don't you like fish in a tomato sauce?
I'm not a big soup person, and I don't love a shell. I don't love. People think it's because I'm Jewish.
Eating soup now.
You love a soup, and that is why Bevy is here.
Soup.
One of the many Bevelations on this podcast, Bevy is pro soup.
Very pro soup. I love soup. Soup to me is a superfood because you're on the go. You can slurp it down. It fills you up. It's low in calories. It's perfect.
See, now you're making me rethink my stance on soup. I just find, I don't love a lentil. I hate peas. I don't like black beans. So any of those, any legume, I hate that.
But I'm eating a soup right now with not one legume in it.
Yeah, but I did see something else I don't love.
Carrots.
Don't live for a carrot, and I don't love a noodle. I don't love a noodle in a soup.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with you. I can't do this with you. And first of all, how are you a nice Jewish girl and you don't like a chicken noodle soup?
No, I'm not. I'm not a good Jew at all. I'm a horrible. I would rather eat like a slab of bacon. It has nothing to do. My religion is meaningless to me. It's just what do I enjoy tasting? And it's just not. It's just not for me.
A noodle. So do you not eat macaroni and cheese?
Did I do what?
Do you not eat macaroni and cheese?
I'm so happy you asked, Bevy, because I'm
so happy you asked. Out of your mind. Out of your mind.
I don't love a mac and cheese. I love pasta, but I have a thing with mac and cheese where I feel like if I'm going to eat a block of cheese, I want it like almost quote unquote on the bone, meaning like in the brick. I don't want it melted. I find sometimes mac and cheese to just be creamy, but with no tang. It has to be flavored right. It has to have a crusty top. It is such a rare day where I have a mac and cheese that really has an impact on me that I've decided to shun it. Now I'm doing keto now. I don't know if you've ever done keto.
Yeah, no.
I'm doing something called dirty keto, which I only learned that recently. I know.
What's dirty keto?
So the idea on both clean and dirty keto is you have no sugar, no carbs.
Right.
If you're a skinny person doing clean keto, you do salad, protein, veggies, blah, blah, blah. If you do dirty keto, like me, I'm circling my face with my finger. You do like Five Guys with a lettuce wrap. You do Indian food, no rice, which I'm sure is full of carbs. You basically eat like the plane is going down. You eat like you have a week left to live, but just cut out any bread or rice or sugar.
Okay. All right.
And I
That
think
sounds
it,
good.
I think it works. The problem is that if it doesn't work, you balloon. Like if you fuck it up even a little bit, it's over.
Wow. That sounds like a lot.
Back to your book.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
It's like quiet. I'm like, anyway.
Yeah.
How is can I ask about your romantic life? Because we've also been out in the town together. We've a few mutual friends, actually.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. You are such a bombshell, B, that I'm wondering what's your life like? Like what? Tell me everything.
Well, it's hard trying to procure COVID dick. I will say that.
It's nearly impossible.
But I am still fighting the good fight. No, I don't even want any COVID dick. But I am in hot pursuit of a relationship.
Yes.
And so I even am working with a fabulous love coach.
Ooh, go on.
And so I've gone on a couple of dates during COVID. And the one person I went on a couple of dates with, like maybe 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And this was no spark. And my dating coach said, okay, this time is going to be the last one unless there's a spark. She said, look into his eyes, touch his shoulder, touch his arm, touch his hand, flirt with him. See if you can get any kind of zhuzh going.
Yeah.
I had no zhuzh with the gentleman.
Zero zhuzh.
But we had a 5-hour date.
You know, it's interesting how that works because I, back in the fall and summer, went on a couple of COVID first dates, which were all via apps. And
how's that work for you? Because they must recognize you.
Well, first of all, that's hilarious that you think any straight man knows me. So thank you. No, that's the one thing, the one blessing of my career is literally nobody knows who the hell I am on the dating apps. You know, what was I on? I was on like Hinge for a hot second, but I went on a couple dates. Yeah. They were very disheartening. And one of them was with a guy who was literally physically not my type at all. He was much smaller than I was, but he had such a nice personality. And I remember thinking, he lied about his height. First of all, I didn't like agree to go out with a guy who was 5'8", but that just, it happened. Okay. And I was like, well, I'm here, whatever. And then we had so much in common. He was so nice to chat with. And I thought, you know what, Mish, like maybe this is how it happens. You know, you just like meet this person. And then physically there was just literally nothing there. You couldn't bridge the mental connection to the physical connection. And it's like, sometimes if it's just not there, it's just not there. And it's
just not there. And we have to just be like, God know when to hold them, God know when to fold them.
I think
when to walk away, when to run.
Advice that has been given to me and has proven successful, and I'm passing it along to you because I know it would for you as well, is I think once the pandemic passes, you have to get international dick. She's looking at me.
I'm always on the prowl for international cock.
That's what you need.
I am always on the prowl for that.
Because you know what your thing is, Bevy? Much like me. Meanwhile, I'm like, Bevy, she signs out. I'm like, hey, Bevy, is she there?
Look, I'm like still on international cock mode.
You have to summon it, sage your apartment, open all the windows, and then summon that international dick. And I'm telling you, it will come to you. You are gorgeous.
Is that why you went to London?
No. Went to London for work. Now, was that a byproduct of London? You didn't hear it from me. But what I will say, was it a byproduct of being there? You didn't hear it from me. But do you notice the glow? I mean, it's no coincidence. Okay. You are glamorous. You're intelligent. You're hilarious. You're successful, stunning. You have it all, genuinely. And I think that for me, I'm saying as someone who I think doesn't have it all, but has a lot, American men are overwhelmed by that. I don't think a lot of them know how to process it. I think, especially if you're funny and you're very funny, I've talked about this at length on basically every single episode. I get into it, but they just don't know, I think, how to handle it. And I think that men who grew up in different cultures are raised differently to worship women like yourself.
Yes.
So that's my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I used to date Jewish men. Because they come from a matriarchal society, And so they come from strong women. And so I thought that they would be like that. You haven't found that to be the case with your Jewish brethren?
Almost never date Jewish men.
Oh, well, then
Almost
why don't
never.
you go and date some Jewish men? Because they like women. They love strong women.
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
Just not for me. It's just not for me. I don't know how else to put it. They're just not for me. The look is not my look. I'm fucked up. I don't think you know this. Like, I'm damaged. I don't love the Jewish men look. It's nothing. Listen, I'm a big Jew.
What do you mean you don't love the Jewish men look?
Well, they're
What's
really
the look?
small. Like, they're tiny usually.
Not always.
The tall ones are
Sometimes.
very full of themselves. You find a Jewish guy over 6 feet, I don't want to get near this man. The cockiness levels of a tall Jew, because genuinely there's like 7 of them, and they just... I'm not into that at all. It's just the vibe is not right for me. Not all of them.
The vibe doesn't work.
It just doesn't work, you know? But I'm happy for you. I could see you ending up with a lovely Jewish man, and they don't really cheat. They're very loyal, the Jews.
I could see myself ending up with a nice Jewish.
Have you ever been to Israel? Because you would shit if you went to Israel.
No, I've never
Bevy? Okay, listen. This is a show we're going to pitch.
Right.
The beaches, but you want to talk about hot Jewish men? Don't talk to me about some Upper East Side, you know, whatever. Beeline to the Tel Aviv beach. You'll be like, how are they genetically related? How are the men at Zabar's related to these army generals? It doesn't. I can't bridge it.
It cannot compute.
You'll shit. Okay, that's the next thing. Is Bevy is going to Israel. All right, I'm excited. I'm going to take you there.
Right, done.
Bevy, your friendship with Andy Cohen, I'm jealous of it. Genuinely. The Bravo connection, you can't beat a connection like that. Having a tie to Bravo is as good as gold, I think. Have you not found that to be true?
I mean, listen.
I'm dying laughing. I took a sip of soda and I'm like dying laughing. Go on.
Child, listen, I'm so... Okay, this is going to come off sounding really kind of either like too spiritual, or it's going to come off sounding really like a braggadocious moment.
Not at all.
But I have so many great corporate relationships. It's just another one of them for me. I like that I have a lot of access a lot of places. I have a lot of people I can call and pick up the phone and get things done. And
I think that's completely fair.
The byproduct of the work that I've been doing for, I've been in the workforce since I was 18 years old. I'm 54 now. And I've never, not been in a glamour industry. So I got fortunate in meeting really great people, but I've always had amazing, amazing folks. So by the time I got to Andrew, I'd already run through 4 incredible mentors who had helped me ascend to my career in fashion advertising. So when I get to Andy, it's so funny because I was on his radio show a couple of days ago, and he said, you turned down the Tim Gunn show. What gave you the balls to do that? And I was like, because I'd already been successful, and I knew a good business deal when I saw one. I also knew a shitty business deal when I saw one, and the deal wasn't great. And he's like, but you were unknown. I was like, yeah, unknown to you guys, but I knew who the fuck I was. So, I mean, there you have that.
Oh my God. Can I just please hire you to mentor me? I'm not joking. Please. Yeah, all you have to do is buy the book. It's all in there. That's why it's called Lessons from a Mother, Auntie, Bestie. Bevelations.
I'm telling you all of this kind of stuff because really, honestly, you have to know who you are. These people will try and run roughshod over you. I'm not talking about Andrew. I'm just talking about the business world and also in life in general. I cannot tell you how many people have tried to tell me who I am. And I'm like, no. You don't get to define who I am. I define who I am, and I'm going to tell you who I am. And then, you can get with the program, darling. But, as women, we have to learn to assert ourselves in that way. And we cannot allow anyone to put us in these little boxes that they like to.
That's right.
Oh, well, you're tall and Jewish and blah, blah, blah. So you should only date Jewish guys. And you're curvy and black and so you should only do reality TV or no. I'm going to tell you what I'm about to do. And you're going to tell us who you're about to date. We're not going to allow people to foist their opinions on us.
That's right.
And then run our lives. Get the fuck out of here.
I am so on board with every word you just said. And I do think that energy that you're giving me right now comes from just experience and I'm saying this for myself, of having gotten fucked over so many times that you sort of realize, again, this is from my experience and I'm speaking specifically within the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
When you have been run over, like you said, a number of times, whether it be financially or even creatively, where I've worked on so many things where, do you understand? I've had so many jobs. I say so many, like 3, but still, where they'll be like, don't be funny. Like, can you just not be funny? And I'm like, listen, if you don't want someone funny, there's literally a million people who can do this. Like, you're not here, not putting myself down, but I'm not like a model. Like, you're bringing me here to be funny. And it's impossible. And that's why I secretly think that a lot of the things I do don't really take off in the way they should, because they're not letting me be myself. And I think the viewer can even feel that. And it's like the tension then with production and my energy and blah, 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 backfires. The question that I have for you is, how do you, let's say for someone like myself and for someone like you who's big personality, we're authentic, blah, blah, blah. How do you convince, let's say, these producers who are so used to seeing the same thing over and over again? How do you then convince someone to take a chance and say, no, this is the right person? Is it that you make your own show? I'm guessing. I'm just trying to think, like, what have you found in your experience?
I've just found that I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody.
I love that.
I'm going into these spaces, child, and I'm like, getting to know you, getting to know all about you, and you're going to do the same with me.
Beautiful voice.
But I'm not auditioning.
Oh my God, Bevy. Here, go on.
I'm not auditioning for these people.
Right.
I'm going to come in and have a meeting with you, and we're going to talk. And we're going to have a nice chat. And I'm going to tell you my origin story so that you don't put me in a box. What you're not going to do is pigeonhole me as just a fashion girl. Or you're not going to pigeonhole me as your black lady that's boisterous and from the hood. I'm not doing any of those moments with you. I'm going to tell you who I am in totality. And then if you're smart, you'll be like, oh, more than meets the eye, and then you get with the program, and then you cast me correctly. Yeah. If you don't see it, if you think, oh, well, this is not even what we wanted. We just wanted her to come in here and just talk about fashion, or we just wanted her to come in here and be like, the flippant black lady. Well, if that's all you wanted, then I'm probably not your gal, and that's fine too. But it is about having, and real talk, for anyone that's in a creative space, we have to have multiple revenue streams. You know what I mean? Because in the book, I talk about when Page 6 TV got canceled, I didn't even call my agent about getting another job on TV because I needed a break, because I had to recalibrate and figure out how I wanted to do TV next. Because that was such a bad experience that I wanted to figure out what I wanted my new experience to be. Right. But because I had multiple revenue streams, even though that was a nice paycheck, I was able to stop down and just not have to run out and try to get a new TV show. And so, yeah.
Totally. It's incredible advice. It's funny because it's just saying to someone, by the way, have multiple revenue streams. I'm like, okay. It's hard sometimes to, in what we do, like guarantee. The radio thing that we do is an amazingly lucky job, I think. Obviously wrote a book. You can write and do things, but the hustle that it takes to create these streams, it's never ending.
No, but I don't think so? It's a hustle. Not for someone like you. Have you tapped into your public speaking engagements?
I wish I could. I don't even know. I have agents, I think.
Well, they're so useless, right?
Yeah. Now I'm looking at you. For the listener, we're looking at each other. Yeah.
I'm like, child. I know. But for me, I make really a great living doing public speaking, which is how I was able to say.
Even post-pandemic?
Oh my God, it's back, baby.
You're kidding me. All right, this is interesting. I'm giving you 10%. They're not getting a penny.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so you know.
Don't give them a penny.
No.
And it's 5-figure jobs.
Wow.
And for someone like you, like Women's Month that's coming up, it's March.
Bevy.
You should be out there on the road, honey.
Oh my God. All right. This is it. Okay. Bev.
You have a really big presence. You have a really strong, solid, like when the email came through about being on your show, I sent it to my publicist. I was like, this is a really good show. You have to get me on here.
Oh my gosh.
No, but it's true.
Thank you.
And because you have your listeners really connect with you and they really believe you and you really are friends. You are their bestie. And so that can translate into you doing speaking engagements. You should be doing this.
We should pitch a show together. I'm just going to put that idea out there.
We should.
I'm serious. As we're talking, I'm like, this is the energy that people need. Like, just
really right.
unapologetic women who are themselves, who are as funny, glamorous, blah, blah, blah as they want to be. And they don't care what the fuck anyone thinks. That's it.
Actually, it's a really good idea. I like it.
Okay. Well, let's take it somewhere.
Like, your name is Michelle, so you have to go last. So it's B&M.
Okay. That's fine. I'm happy to go. Did you see how slow I said? That's okay. No, that's totally fine. You don't even have to put my name in the title. I'll be the Ed to your Johnny.
No,
I'll be the Ed to your Johnny.
No. We have the equal thing. It's just that my name goes first because I'm the B and you're the M.
I'm happy to go. I'm honored to follow your name. There is no question about it. Wait, I love that idea. That's exciting. If any producers are listening, this is now turning into a pitch.
I'm actually a producer. I actually have a production deal somewhere.
Well,
I'll tell you later. So it's actually, we should talk.
I'm very excited about everything that's happening. Can I just say that?
Yeah, me too.
This book, Bevelations, if buy it either for yourself or genuinely, it's amazing. I think that the world of reading has really, because of lockdown, everybody I know is like so into books now. It's really taken off. Like, it's kind of amazing because we have nothing else to do. And I just think this is such a great gift for not only yourself, but for any young woman who you have in your life, even your mom, just anybody who needs a bit of inspiration from someone who has genuinely been, I know, Bevy, that you have just been through so much, good and bad, and just by way of my own experience in the industry, I can only imagine yours has to be 10 times more amazing and harrowing. And you know what I mean by that? Just a lot of different energies on that. So by Bevelations, by Bevy Smith, Lessons from a Mother, Auntie, Bestie. What would I call you? I don't want to call you Auntie. I want to call you my Bestie.
Bestie.
Okay, good.
You fit into the Bestie category.
Oh, thank God for that. Bevy, can I just say thank you so much for doing the podcast?
No, thank you so much. I love you so much.
I love and miss you. Thank you for spending an hour with us, by the way. And by Bevelations, follow Bevy at Bevy Smith. Please bring me up to your therapist. Let me know what he or she says.
Okay.
Tell me everything.
I will. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Everyone go buy Bevelations, Lessons from a Mother, Auntie, Bestie.
Bye, Bev. All right, guys.
Bye,
thanks
baby.
for joining us. Bye.
Forever Dog.
This has been a Forever Dog production. Midnight Snack with Michelle Collins is executive produced by Brett Boehm, Joe Cilio, and Alex Ramsey. Produced by Tracy Soren. Original theme music by Gabe Lopez. Cover art by Ben Wiseman. To listen to this podcast ad-free, sign up for Forever Dog Plus at foreverdogpodcasts.com/plus. Check out video clips of our podcasts on YouTube at youtube.com/foreverdogteam. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Forever Dog Team to keep up with all the latest Forever Dog news.